We've set up our subscriptions on the back end. We've created the resolvers for them. We've created our Apollo client, and now we can use the subscribe component from Apollo in order to subscribe to the data that's being published whenever a mutation is executed in our app. So let's head first to our map component. And even though not all of our mutations are being executed within map, we can still set up all of our subscriptions and listen for data with the help of Apollo. So from Apollo, all that we really need is the subscription component, and that comes from the React Apollo library. And since subscription is a component, we can head down to our return JSX and create an area for subscriptions. We'll add them at the very bottom, just above our blog area. So this will be our area for subscriptions, for adding, updating, and deleting pins. Let's say creating, updating, and deleting pins. And to set up each subscription component, it'll consist of one tag with a couple of props. The first prop accepting the subscription, and that will be written in very much the same manner as we created our queries and mutations in. And then after our subscription is provided for how to execute the subscription, there'll be a prop where we can get our subscription data, and this will be called onSubscriptionData. And this is going to be a function, and in the parameters of this function, we can get the data being published when the corresponding mutation is executed, and that comes from this subscription data value. And then after we get our subscription data, we can use it to update our global state just like we did for mutations, where we'll dispatch an action. We'll actually dispatch the same actions as we did for our mutations. So let's begin by heading to the subscriptions file within GraphQL. To write these subscriptions, we'll need to import a special tool called GQL from GraphQL tag. We can't just write these between a set of backticks like we did for GraphQL request. And our first variable, which we'll export, will be for the pin added subscription. So we'll write GQL, and this is exactly the same as the GQL that we got from Apollo server to write our type defs. But to write our subscription, we first need to prefix it with the keyword subscription. Then we'll provide within a set of curly braces the name of the subscription, which will be pin added. And adding all of the fields for pin added as well as our other subscriptions are going to be rather easy. We can just head to our mutations file and then go to the corresponding mutation that the subscription was created for and grab all of its subfields. So for pin added, it will be for the create pin mutation. Go down to its fields, copy all of them, and then provide them within, in this case, pin added. And we'll do the exact same for pin updated and pin deleted. So let's export const pin updated subscription equals GQL and 2 backticks. We'll provide the subscription keyword, then pin updated. We'll go to mutations and then find create comment, grab all of its fields, and paste it in pin updated's fields. Then we'll create pin deleted subscription equals GQL, add subscription, pin deleted, then find the delete pin mutation, grab its one field, paste it in. And before we leave this file, I want to make one addition to our pin added subscription, I want to add a comments field and at least one subfield, for example text, because we want to make sure that we're returning a comments array when a new pin is added, even though it'll be an empty array initially. So I'm just going to grab the entire comments field that's provided on the pin updated subscription, like so. And then back in map, we'll import up at the top all of our subscriptions coming from /graphql/subscriptions, and we'll get pin added subscription, pin updated subscription, and pin deleted subscription. Then heading back down, all the way down to our subscriptions area, we'll start with our first subscription component, which will be for the pin added subscription. And once a pin's been created, we'll get subscription data from on subscription data, and we can get our pin added object from subscription data dot data, and then we can destructure from this object pin added. Next we can dispatch an action with type create pin. So if we head to the create pin component, note that we're just moving where we're calling dispatch with the same action type, so we can actually get rid of all of this within handle submit where we're dispatching the create pin action, and we don't need to get a value back from create pin now. We'll head back to map, we'll dispatch create pin with a payload of pin added, and we'll just console log pin added. Then we'll copy this subscription and do the exact same for our other two. So for pin updated subscription, we'll destructure from subscription data.data pin updated. And we'll log that as well and pass it through to the payload for the action, which will be create comment. Then the last subscription for pin deleted subscription, the data is going to come from subscription data.data, and we'll destructure pin deleted, log it, pass it to payload, and this action is going to be delete comment, or rather, my mistake, delete pin. And now that we have both of these subscriptions, we can head to our create comment component, and within handle submit comment we can just await client.request. We don't have to get a return value from it, and remove the dispatch. And then also within map, where we're dispatching delete pin, within the handle delete pin function, we can remove the return value from the delete pin mutation and remove dispatch there as well. Now let's save all of these components, and we'll test this out in the browser. And one last thing, if you want, from create comment you can remove dispatch since we're not using it anymore. I'm going to display two windows side by side, where if we add a new pin in one of them, if we take a look at the other app, the other window, when we hit submit in one, we should see that it's added at the same time or immediately afterwards. Next, if both applications have the same pin open and we add a comment, it should appear immediately in both. And then if a pin is deleted, by a user that created it, that should immediately be visible as well.